Good morning. Going into the afternoon, family. I must say this first. Let me say I am your soul brother Talib, and I just want to, touch up on some things for a few minutes in this rant video. But you know, right now the situation we are in with this coronavirus pandemic is something that we always talk about from the platform, that life could change course at any given time, and that the fact is that don't nothing never stay the same, which could affect every living human species on this earth, you see. But people don't take it serious because they're too comfortable in whatever they doing, especially if it's a unnecessary condition that they've been in all their lives. They still are comfortable in that. So they just choose not to take certain things serious when it's brought to them as a warning, and I just got to say that this is just one great example with this pandemic going on to prove that anything could change the course of life. Like I said, for all of humanity. And, but because, people don't want to prepare themselves, whether it's prepare for their own future, their offspring's future, and those generations to come after them's future. Well, you supposed to get whatever you get coming. And 1,000% you gonna deserve it. Far as it going for worse, because you didn't prepare. And it's like, this is not no game. Life is not a game. Human beings throughout thousands upon thousands of years on this planet have had to see that, especially the hard way, and this is not a game. This is very serious. So, I mean, just like with this pandemic, it could definitely be worse. It could definitely, without no question, be worse. You could be in the supermarkets, which discussion has already been going around on social media, that is demands about closing down supermarkets because of this coronavirus. Well, people can't even go inside the supermarkets and shop. And that could still be a possibility. I'm not saying it's a definite, but that could still be a possibility. With the course that this situation is taking on, and I mean, honestly, me myself personally, I wish I wasn't even alive to see this. But since I am, I'm just caught up, in the, what, like they say in religion, in the rapture things, But when it come to that time, far as it getting worse, I hope I don't be alive. I hope I be old, long, and gone. It's just that simple. because it's going to be a time when you going to walk in them supermarkets and you ain't going to find nothing on them shelves at all in the supermarket. Then what you going to do? Can you imagine being in a situation with people killing other people over loaves of bread, over a pack of pork chops, over a pack of hamburger, you know what I'm saying? Can you imagine that happening? Well, we in that kind of time where that could possibly open the doors for that type of situation to actually take place. Because people, all you got to look at is how these governments around the country and nationally and even around the world is acting toward this situation, especially here in the United States. Although I have to say that other countries do seem to have it more a little bit under control than in the United States. But still, this thing could become a full-blown, all-out war situation with people killing their own mamas, like I said, over a loaf of bread, just because they want to eat and stay alive. When your stomach start getting hungry, when your belly start thinning in, you would do anything to put some food on the table. I don't care who you is either, and this is serious. So, like I said before, we warned you. This is one of the reasons, of course, why we introduced the Mississippi Campaign from our platform, over 2 years ago. And the message from that just simply fell on deaf ears. And, people, speaking about all this knowledge and wisdom, which I agree with some of it I don't, but where has this knowledge of wisdom gotten us? What has it done on a common collective basis? We've had this going on 100 years. We've had all this knowledge, supreme wisdom, and all this other good stuff. But what has it done for us? Especially in terms as black people in the United States, what has it done for us? It ain't done a daggone thing, period. You could use it to benefit your own selves individually, okay, if it'll work for you that way. But I'm talking about far as on a common collective basis, which we speak from this platform that I speak from, it's like we have warned you all along that something was going to abruptly cause a major change, whether just in this country or this world. And we see now what it is. And like I said before, it could certainly definitely get worse. We can't keep taking situations, even especially like this, for granted. It's just like we warned you numerous times. All them Jews in Nazi Germany were warned to prepare for what was coming. What they just kept on taking it, for some type of kind of joke, or like it was some type of kind of conspiracy theory or something that people was just simply throwing out there. And what happened? That moment came when them Nazi, soldiers knocked on their door and told them, come on. Had they military arsenal in their hand and told them, come on, we got somewhere to take you. Get on that bus. And we seen what the outcome of that was. This is not a game. People can't keep, just taking things for granted like that. This is for real. And now we're in a situation where we seeing, over a hundred, some, if not hundreds of thousands, affected by this thing called coronavirus or whatever. And then we got, just alone here in the United States, over 40-some thousand people that then died from it. Not counting all the people around other parts of the world that's died from it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this is serious. This is not no game. And, I mean, people got their own different opinions about, is people actually dying from this, or is it other pre-existing conditions that's causing these deaths that's being marked as coronavirus deaths? First of all, like I said, and especially if I haven't researched or been proven as a fact that pre-existing conditions does cause death, in this situation, particularly without the coronavirus being involved, until I see that actual proof for myself, I'm just not going to go along with that. Hey, and that don't mean because I don't agree with individuals on certain things, even like that I'm getting emotional about it or I'm tripping about it. It's nothing personal with me. I'm just saying, I'm not finna just agree with that. Because at the end of the day, I mean, we got to trust the medical professions to some degree, because we're not, most of us who just get on here on social media and talk about the coronavirus as if we're some kind of health experts, don't really know nothing. We have to pay attention more to them health experts and them science experts, which these, idiotic politicians like Donald Trump is even ignoring. And who warned him, about this thing coming down the pike. And he didn't take it serious. And because of that, now look at the rut that the country is in, especially economically. I mean, you got over 20-some million people out of work now because of this. People losing their businesses. Other stuff is financially happening to people where things could right now really come to it, where things could end up coming to a serious head. Like I said, where people could end up dying in the streets through the force of violence and bloodshed just based on survival, and all this other stuff. behind this, So, I mean, all that knowledge, wisdom, and all that other stuff don't mean nothing when it's not being applied to deal at hand with a situation that's going on. Like I said, all the knowledge in the world is not going to do nothing for a collective group of people, especially like the so-called Negro in this country, if you don't commonly apply it on a collective basis. Now, like I said, it might work for those as individuals, depending on how that go, but like I said, it's not being applied on a common collective basis. And that's where my issue stands at with that, But once again, like I said before, I have to realize that, black people in this country may, be headed, in fact, for, definite extermination, because a lot of black people just don't listen and take things serious. They take things for granted, like I say. They take things for a joke, and this is what they get. Where you got other ethnic groups that, are in positions to look out for themselves and their own. And that's what it may come down to, and even a little bit that black people or dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America may have, far as resources in this time that we're in right now, far as critical time speaking, could get that snatched from them easily, because we don't have no unity as a people to begin with. And so other groups of people or other group of ethnicities can capitalize on that for their own survival, you see. So, I mean, and like they always have been doing, far as our disunity go. So, this is the reason why I simply can't concern myself, with waiting on millions upon tens of millions of niggas to make that real change come. I got to, like somebody say, I got to focus more on concentrating on changing myself just to better my own quality of life and my own situation, and that's true, because at the end of the day, self-preservation always takes over, and supersedes everything else when it comes to the, natural cause of effect in the terms of survival, So, like I said, hey, I have to do what I have to do for me. And I remember even when I was in the conscious community years ago, and brothers would always tell me, it's going to come a time where you're going to have to just worry about yourself and nobody else. And that's real. That there is real, So, like I said, I'm not, I even those who are related to me biologically, there are some of them that I love and care about, and there are some of them that I don't really care about much, to be honestly truthful about it, but and they going through their own situations, but I have to worry about me. And that's just the bottom line, you know, when it comes to self-preservation, and in this situation, since I see that people are not on a common collective level going to take this serious, far as really trying to do something to turn this situation around, so we'll be in a better position to deal with even crises like this, as far as dealing with crises like this. I mean, hey, that's on them. I got to worry about me. But like I said, my giving advice at this point to those of you out there who are just trying to live to get by, especially during this pandemic crisis that we're in the critical times that we're in, as well with this, I must say, you must not make foolish mistakes by going around foolish people that's out there doing foolish stuff to put themselves in harm's way while this pandemic crisis is going on as well, and keeping what they call a social distance, and I'm gonna just say this here, because see, one thing about me, even under unquote normal circumstances, I'm used to socially distancing myself from others. I am used to socially distancing myself from others because I know how people are generally anyway when it comes to all out different kinds of situations. And I've learned, especially from experience of life of living over a half a century, that you simply cannot be close in close counters when it comes to what they call social relations with people, because things just don't work out right a lot of times. So I don't put myself in those positions, to cause that to happen, and it's a lot of stuff going on with people that got real serious, sadistic, hidden agendas, which is also another reason why I don't put myself in those situations to get caught up. So I socially distance myself from people, like I said, even during normal circumstances. So I'm used to this. I'm used to this. So it's nothing to socially distance myself from people, because I do it under normal circumstances, and so I really don't, I'm not really mad about this, especially like you got a lot of other clowns that's, over emotional about this situation, and when I first, heard about this stuff with this coronavirus pandemic, I looked at it as, well, people are over exaggerating it, and, at the end of the day, I can't continue on dwelling and having that type of opinion, because the reality is, especially when you got to listen to what these health experts is talking about, as well as these science experts, you got to look at the probable seriousness of this thing. And it's just that simple, and you know, I try not to get caught up in too much media hoopla about it either, but, you know, I just discern what's, you know, irrelevant and what is relevant when it comes to looking at this situation for what it is, and I mean, hey, like I said before, we got to take this serious, and that's just the bottom line of that. We have to take this serious or face whatever we got coming to us on the unfortunate side of things, and I mean, what more could I really say to get to point this out clearly? And I mean, it's fortunate in my case, although I am here right smack middle in the middle part of America, in the Great Plains region of the Midwest, and it's not, this pandemic has not hit here hard as it has, of course, in other parts of the country, especially like on the East and West Coast, or in certain parts, of course, like in the South, But I must say that it is a fortunate situation, although there have been virus cases showing up even in the state that I'm presently in. But like I say, it's not hit. It hasn't hit its peak, and it hasn't, effectively caused a whole all-out masses of thousands of deaths, like it has, like I say, in other parts of the country, especially on the East Coast. But I must say that we still all, no matter where we at, we still all got to watch out for ourselves and protect ourselves. We all got to take care of ourselves, and that's just simply as that. But I want to also say too that I am glad that I'm not in those parts of the country like New York City, New Jersey, the state of New York, in places like Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, where this thing is really serious at, where the southern states is reopening, knowing that this situation could turn out to be a lot worse just because of that. So I'm glad I'm not in those parts of the country, especially where it's more people, especially according even to its population density. So like I said, that's what I do appreciate, and when it as fortune go in this situation, because even when I do get on the internet and scroll up and down, I see people doing some of the most craziest, over emotional type stuff when they acting out over this coronavirus. And this let me know even more, and it's going on here too, but luckily not to the extent where it's really getting worse in other parts of the country. But I mean, it just shows me where things in this country stand at, where Americans especially is not able to cope and deal with certain situations even during a time of crisis, like other countries, even so-called third world countries are able to handle situations more better than we can. And we call, in this country, is supposed to be the unquote world superpower that could overcome anything. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm just throwing something out there just to let you know that, hey, you know, we are in a very bad situation as a nation. Let alone what's going on around the rest of the world. As a country and as a nation, we are in a bad, serious situation, for real. And like I said, starting this video where things could really get worse, where people is going to have to probably prepare, by putting up, you talking about building walls, building gates, securing their, putting up fences and gates and all that, and bars and all this other stuff, and also other ways to protect their property and all this other stuff, well as themselves and their families, because of how uncontrollably this thing could end up getting, especially because of the way that the government of this country is handling this situation. So, like I said, people, you just got to stop taking things for granted. And it's just one way to prove it, far as what we're seeing now. I mean, hey, we can't keep on taking things for granted. We simply just cannot keep taking things for granted. This is not no time to play. We have seen enough of that, and we see where it's gotten us, even as individuals in life, and as well as generally speaking. And I mean, a situation like this, and I hate it for those children who had to be born at a time like this. I really hate it for them. I seriously do. But it is what it is, and and it's like I said before, man, it's just crazy. It really is crazy. Because we just keep taking things for granted. And, I don't know what else to say other than, like I said before, take care of yourselves and stay away from those idiotic type of people that want to put themselves in positions of harm's way. Stay away from them. Unless you want to follow them to the early grave, stay away from them. And it's just that simple, It really is. And I mean, stop taking, that's the only way, you're going to stop taking things for a joke, is either prepare yourselves by taking this type of situation for what it is, or finding out the hard way. And which that means it may be too late for one to recuperate from, you see. So I mean, hey, do what you got to do as far as that concerned, and you know, but anything like we've been warning you for a long time, or like I warned you as well from this platform, that hey, this is serious. This is very serious. And we got to understand that things in this life do change and is always constantly subject to changing. Not just for an individual or for just a small select few people or groups of people, but even that could change the whole course of life and this whole entire planet Earth, far as human civilization goes, or far as all of humanity goes. You see, so you know, we warned you, and this is a definitely good prime example of that. And like I said, again, it could definitely get worse, even as this situation continues to keep going down the path that it's going. So, hey, take it however you want to, run with it however you want to. But this is the reality of the situation that we see that's going on around us, and that's affecting us all right now at this point in time. And, with that said, I'm going to bow out of here as I came in peace.